Morning.
Good morning from a very damp summit on the Rochdale Canal.
Just below the summit lock. That is
The
the
West
West Summit lock,
which is the 26th.
which is actually on this side of Joe's head. It's that way. There. Oh, one more. There is the West Summit lock. Well coordinated.
Which is our 26th Silver Propeller Location once we actually get there.
Yeah, we pass up there, we go from 25 to 26. It's kind of like a birthday, but not. Yesterday, Storm Francis, was it? There's been a number of them. Storm Francis came through, blowing down, well, actually apparently it toppled a significant oak tree onto part of the Huddersfield Narrow Canal. Luckily, we ain't there, so...
And hopefully by the time we get there it'll be clear, because we can't get there at the moment because the rain also closed the Calder and Hebble navigation, which is at the end of the Rochdale Canal. So
we're going to get over the Rochdale Canal and then wait on floodwaters, or hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully.
So, yeah. In order to do that, though, we have to get to Todmorden.
Yeah. So yeah, yesterday it just rained and rained and rained. When we got here, it was glorious sunshine. Michael kind of fixed the acceleration cable, but doesn't really know how he did it.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of disassembled the thing, realized that, like, it's not the cables, it's something was screwed up in the actual control arm.
Right.
And our control arm's a bit weird. It's got two screws in it that have to be loose. If they're fully, like, I think they're supposed to have some Loctite on them and be at a particular depth.
Tension.
But the Loctite, if it's been in there, it's been gone for a long time. I don't have a manual for it, which I'm going to have to look up. So, yeah, effectively there's two screws that are used to kind of change the deformation of this piece of plastic. And if they go too far towards tight, they cause the whole thing to seize up. If they go too loose, they just don't do anything. And it, it gets kind of wobbly. So loose is probably better because you can control the engine, but things are wobbly, and eventually, something will fall inside there. Tight is bad because everything seizes up. So somehow, which I'm not sure on how, but something in my rotating and using it somehow must have caused one of the two to tighten itself, and that got to the point where it actually caused it to seize. So,
but it seems to be working now.
Yeah, at least for now. So yeah, hopefully I can at some point find an actual manual that explains like what all of the parts are for. Because I tried sort of, I'm like, how do I service this part? And I was like, that is attached to a very powerful spring. If I try and service this, I'm going to send something rocketing into the canal.
And that won't work at all.
Yeah. so it's functional now. I can accelerate and everything. There's no problems, but I don't know how long it'll last. Hopefully it lasts till we get to Todmorden.
Yeah, hopefully. Oh, hello, puppy. So yeah, the boat we were travelling up with, all the way up the Rochdale Canal, carried on the other day. So it's unlikely we'll catch them. I think they had a day off yesterday too because of the weather, but they've probably got on by now.
Well, they probably noticed the same thing we did, which is that the weather forecast is for today to be relatively dry. So they've probably, after yesterday's extreme buffeting and extreme, rinsing.
Dumping of rain.
Yeah, the boats are clean. They're probably moving, we're moving, and we're trying to catch somebody who's a moving target. So
yeah, one more uplock, and then we'll be at the actual summit, and then it'll be down all the way from there.
Mm-hmm. And there's 19 locks between us and Todmorden? Yeah, okay.
Which is about 6 hours, so it's unlikely we'll get there today, I think.
We'll see.
We'll see how
we
get.
See.
Well, we won't get anywhere if we don't go, so should we go?
We should go. George has just pooped over there, so...
First job of the day.
Just letting the world know.
In case you're worried about his movements.
The bowel problems, yeah.
These moorings are on the offside of the canal, and there's a little track that will take us up from here to West Summit Lock. George leads the way. As we mentioned before, West Summit Lock marks the 26th Silver Propeller location that we'll have visited. For anyone who's new to our channel and doesn't know what the Silver Propeller Challenge is, it's an initiative set up by the Inland Waterways Association to encourage boaters to visit some of the more underused navigations. There's a total of 38 locations on the list, and to earn your Silver Propeller plaque you need to visit just 20 of them. Of course, Michael doesn't want to stop at 20, he wants us to visit them all. No time to stop and celebrate. We head onwards across the summit, ready to descend the Rochdale Canal on the other side. Historically, the summit was a busy woolen weaving community. From here it's just 4 miles to Todmorden. There are, however, a total of 17 locks to descend, which is why we're not sure if we'll make it all that way today. The summit pound is less than a mile long, and of the 3 canals that cross the Pennines, this is the only one that doesn't have a tunnel at the summit. We've climbed 56 locks since we joined the Rochdale Canal at Castlefield Basin in Manchester, and there are just 36 to descend to the end of the canal at Sowerby Bridge. We're 600 feet above sea level here, and this is the second highest summit on the system. The highest is the summit through the Standage Tunnel on the Huddersfield Canal, just south of here. George is very curious of the chickens that live alongside the canal. George, would you like us to adopt some chickens? As we reach Longley's Lock, the moat that was moored just before it pulls pins and spins around. They're heading down the locks too, so we wait for them to join us in the chamber. This is Narrowboat Dorset, and it's from the same hire base at Sowerby Bridge as Narrowboat Norfolk, who we've shared locks with on our previous 3 cruises. This is fantastic luck for us. We now have a boat to share the locks with all the way down to Todmorden. Maybe we will make it there today after all. Just before the next lock, there's a bridge to swing. This lock also marks the county border. We're heading east and so cross from Lancashire into Yorkshire. After all the rain that Storm Francis dumped on us yesterday, there's a fair bit of water in the canal now, which is good for us, as we had heard stories of the summit being susceptible to low water levels. I've walked ahead to get Warland Lower Lock ready. Unfortunately, there are more signs on this lock stating that boats must travel through it separately. This is because subsidence in the area has caused the lock walls to move and the lock chamber to narrow, meaning that 2 narrow boats can no longer fit in together safely. Once down the lock, Michael takes Perseverance ahead to get the next lock ready. There's a really sweet row of cottages above Bottomley Lock, and a bungalow on the lock side with a very friendly owner. I've always thought it must be quite strange to have boats use a lock that's practically in your garden. Here comes Narrowboat Dorset now. Remember all that rain we talked about? The canal is really full now, and more water is draining off the hills. The bywashes are overwhelmed, and water is pouring over the top of the lock gates into the chamber as the boat drops. Thank goodness these locks are really long. Any shorter and we'd be under that. Boats up to 72 feet can use the Rochdale Canal, and as we're only 57 feet, there's plenty of room, so we can keep well forward in the lock and out of the way of all that water. Excess water is also bubbling up from a channel underneath the towpath. This is pretty worrying. We reported to the Canal and River Trust, so they're now aware of the problem if they weren't already. It's incredibly lush and green along here. It's not surprising with all that rain. It's just gorgeous. This pound is also overtopping into the lock. It's quite incredible after hearing the stories about water shortages on this flight, and the low pounds we experienced when we came up the other side a few days ago. As we leave the lock, you can see all the water flooding over the lock gates, as well as down the bywash. This is the lock before we drop it. The water is flooding over the top of the bottom gates and into the pound below. That's St Peter's Church in the village of Walden. The canal along here was actually damaged from bombing during the Blitz. We found that a lot of the locks on the Rochdale Canal have these wooden braces. We're not sure of their exact purpose, but assume it's a short-term solution to strengthen the integrity of the lock chamber. But if anyone knows for sure, we'd love to hear. If you're ever in a lock chamber with stone walls, look out for the stonemaker's marks on the bricks. They're quite fascinating to see. There's a short flight of 3 locks here, and just as we travel into the lower one, we pass another of the Shire Cruise hire boats. This end of the Rochdale Canal is definitely busier than the west end. The railway viaduct ahead carries the Manchester-Leeds railway line over the canal. The viaduct abutments are rather grand with castellated stone towers. These locks just keep coming, and once again I walk ahead to set the next one. Meanwhile, Michael realises he's lost his walkie-talkie and so has to climb out of the chamber to find it. Ahead is the so-called Great Wall of Todmorden, which supports the railway embankment above it. Apparently 4 million bricks were used to build it, and it was quite a feat of engineering when it was built back in the 1830s. Finally into the last lock of the day, and it's a rather unusual guillotine lock. And this is Todmorden. Definitely time to stop for the day. That was a good day.
Yes.
It's only 2:30.
It's only 2:30. We got down here somehow in quite a bit less time than Canal Plan said we would.
Yeah, it said 6 hours and 11 minutes.
And we got here in 4.
Yeah, just over 4 hours. I mean, I do feel incredibly lucky that we met that other boat.
Yeah, like we thought we'd be going down alone. We came up onto the actual summit pond past our 26th Silver Propeller. Yay. And then, moved down the pond past all the funny animals and the horse that was trying to eat its way out of its fence. And
it's lovely up there. It's actually lovely all the way down.
Yeah, gotta say, kind of new favorite, like scenery canal. The scenery here is just amazing.
There's a lot of locks.
There's a lot of locks.
And they're hard work, but we've been lucky. We've done hardly any locks on this canal on our own.
Yeah, we got lucky. We paired up coming up with somebody else, and we on coming down, we were in the summit pond, and we were passing a boat which was facing the other way. They just spun around in the winding hole and came right down into the lock with us. So it was sweet, we're on our way.
There's a lot of water in this canal.
Yeah, because in the summit pond, I saw where there's 2 streams coming down off the mountain. From the summit of the hill and everything.
There might be a reservoir up there, I don't know.
Don't know if there's a reservoir. There is definitely a lot of water just cascading down off the fields into the summit. So the summit was quite high, and
most of the locks were overtopping. Most of the bywashes were running really fast.
yeah, and there was water shooting up through the sort of little manhole covers that
on the toper. It kind of explains why the Calder and Hebble at the end of the Rochdale is in flood, because there's a lot of water coming down.
So yeah,
Just gorgeous up here though.
yeah, like stunningly. Like, it's strange because the very reason why the 26 Silver Propeller is where it is because the Rochdale does not get a lot of traffic. One of the guys we passed said that he sees like one boat a day,
if that,
on busy days.
Yeah.
And
this is August.
It's hard to understand why there's so little traffic, other than
it's hard work.
It's hard work because of the locks, but it's not like it's harder work than
the Kennet and Avon.
Well, I'm thinking the
Leeds and Liverpool.
The Leeds and Liverpool, or the Huddersfield Narrow. One way or another, we've been to a lot of places that have been at least the same amount of work.
Yeah.
But
without
the reward is so much better. And then coming down in the valley, it's absolutely lovely. And then you get into Todmorden. It was the lock above that I'd lost my walkie-talkie, and I figured I must have dropped it out of my, somewhat too small pocket somewhere up on the lock itself. So I went up there, looked around, I finally found it, grabbed it, called you, realized you'd been trying to talk to me for a while.
Yeah, I was surprised you didn't just hear a voice in the grass going, "Michael, are you okay? Hello?"
Yeah, I was too far away. So then the guy who was coming down with us grabbed my rope so I could climb down the ladder so he could hold the boat steady. So I climbed on board, got down there, just, started coming out, and then you said, can you film the Great Wall of Todmorden? And I'm like, sure. But all I'm looking at is this, I know there's a railway embankment off to my left, and there's this big hill covered in trees, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm like, is it up there somewhere? What am I looking for? And Joe just says, just have patience. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll have patience. And I actually come around the corner to where you can see the actual Great Wall of Todmorden, and I'm just like, holy, that is a big wall of bricks.
You'll know it when you see it. So I'd like to spend a day here.
I think we should.
And have a bit of an explore.
So if you're thinking about doing a vacation afloat, I would definitely consider the Rochdale Canal. It's absolutely worth it. We haven't been to Hebden Bridge yet. It's supposed to get really nice that way as well. Mm-hmm. But definitely towards the summit, and the summit itself, absolutely worth a visit. Just stunningly beautiful. Yeah. So thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up. Comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe to Minimalist, Maximal Velocity if you want to see some time lapses. And click that bell. Or pet the dog if you want to get notifications.
George isn't in shot, so it looks like you're just...
Right, yeah. It's like it's not obvious what I'm doing. But I've got a mud-covered dog.
You've got a mud-covered
barking
Michael.
at me for 15 minutes, and he's covering me in mud. Yes, we're aware of the fact that you want to go. See you guys.
And I was going to say. So it kind of explains why the Calder and Hebble at the end of the Rochdale.
So finally, I found the thing, called you, told you I was climbing out. I had climbed out and I climbed back in. Hi, George. You wanted to kiss you, don't you? Yes, you do. And so I'd climbed out and climbed back in.
He's got your thing.
Yeah, hello. Yes. Hi, George. And you're making me muddy as hell. So, okay, George, you're just distracting. Hold on one second. And you're very distracting for a good reason. I like you very much. But we'll go for walkies in a moment. If you've got a place that you haven't been considering, or you've been thinking about a vacation or whatever, definitely think about this one, because the Rochester is absolutely gorgeous. I said at the Rochester, the Rufford Bridge? No.
Rochdale.
The Rochdale is absolutely gorgeous. So if you're thinking about taking a vacation, definitely consider the Rufford branch. Damn it, I did it again.
That's why you do this on purpose.
It's not on purpose. It's the R's. There's too many R's.
The thing is, I know it's the Rochdale because Rochester is a place in Kent.
Yeah.
But I keep saying Rochester now.
Yeah, I know, because it's just too many R's. So thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up. Comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe to Narrow Boat. Damn it, George.
Oh my God.
Ready?
No, I've got no patience.
Straight face. So thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up. Comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks, George. So thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up. Comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe to Narrowboat. Yeah.
Just ignore him.
I'm trying to ignore him. Just ignore him. So thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up. Comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. He's such a squishy. So thanks for watching. Give us a George up. No.